Let me start with something uncomfortable. Have you ever felt like you slowly became the man in your relationship? You handle the problems, you handle the money, you schedule the daycare, the school, the doctor appointments. You organize the life. You hold the emotional stability. And him? He's there, but not fully inside the responsibility. And when you finally say, "I'm exhausted. I can't carry this alone. I need you," he pulls back. He shuts down. He goes silent. He scrolls. He says you're overreacting. Or he just emotionally disappears. And you're left wondering, why? Why is it that when I need support the most, he retreats? Here's something most people don't want to admit. Many men were never taught how to tolerate emotional pressure. They were taught to be strong, to provide, to compete, to solve problems, but not to sit inside emotional chaos, not to stay present when someone is overwhelmed, not to hold space without fixing, not to endure tension without escaping it. And family life? Family life is sustained emotional pressure. It's constant. It doesn't pause. Most men want a family. They want the woman. They want the child. They want warmth. They want love. They want to be needed. But not all of them are psychologically prepared for what that actually requires. Because if you choose a family, your life changes forever. Your freedom shifts. Your time shifts. Your energy shifts. Your priorities shift. Your ego has to shrink, especially after a child is born. And here's the part that's hard to say out loud. Women often adapt faster. Their bodies change, their hormones change, their sleep disappears, their careers may slow down. They lose parts of their old identity, and they stay. They stretch, they sacrifice, they endure, and sometimes they break quietly. And the man? Sometimes he expects his life to change as little as possible. The baby becomes her territory. The emotional labor becomes her territory. The home becomes her territory. And when she says, "I'm drowning. I can't do this alone. I need you to step up," he doesn't hear vulnerability. He hears accusation. He hears pressure. And his nervous system reacts like he's under attack. Because if I have to become the anchor, that means I have to grow. And growth is uncomfortable. Growth feels like losing the version of yourself that lived without this weight. So he withdraws. Not always because he doesn't care. Sometimes because he's afraid. Afraid he won't be enough. Afraid he can't handle it. Afraid he will fail. But here's the harder truth. Family is an adult commitment. There is no option to take only the beautiful parts. If you chose this woman, you chose her exhaustion too. If you chose this child, you chose sleepless nights too. If you chose to be a man in this family, you chose the weight, not just the romance, not just the image, not just the comfort, the weight. And when that weight is not shared, something shifts. Respect slowly erodes. And without respect, attraction dies, quietly. And then men say, "She changed. She's cold. She's distant." Yes, she changed. Because she matured faster. Because she had to. Because she couldn't afford to stay the same. Now let's go even deeper. Why are women often more prepared for sacrifice? Maybe because their bodies go through transformation. Maybe because society conditioned them to nurture. Maybe because they were taught from childhood to hold everything together. And men? They were often taught to achieve, to win, to build, but not always to endure emotional weight. So now we have something very modern: strong women and confused men. Women who can earn, organize, lead, hold emotional structure. And men who feel like their role is suddenly unclear. Role confusion. When she carries finances, parenting, and emotional regulation, she stops feeling like she has a partner. She starts feeling like she has another responsibility. And no one deeply desires someone they feel responsible for. You cannot crave what you have to carry. So he withdraws further because he feels disrespected, and she pulls back because she feels unsupported. And now they're both lonely in the same house. This isn't about blaming men. It's not about attacking women. It's about maturity. You don't have to want a family. That's valid. But if you choose one, you cannot behave like a guest. You have to become a co-creator. Because something beautiful cannot be built by one person carrying the emotional and practical weight alone. It's built by two adults who are willing to tolerate pressure together. So here's the question. Are men withdrawing because women became too demanding? Or are men withdrawing because they are being confronted with a level of responsibility no one prepared them for? Be honest, not defensive, not reactive. What do you actually think?